Hello there, my name is Raja Mahmood. I am a filmmaker and content producer for Brothers Production Films. I've directed, written, and produced multiple short films on this YouTube channel. And today I want to talk about what film equipment I use and specifically what my thoughts are on the Blackmagic 6K camera in 2024. I like the film equipment that I use is basically the Blackmagic 6K, which is my main camera. I don't really have a second camera if you include the DSLR Canon 250D, but the Blackmagic 6K is what I've relied on since 2023. I remember we bought it towards the end of 2022, but we never got to use it because at that period of time I never used any other Blackmagic stuff, so I was really scared of bringing it onto a set. But we kind of practiced with it and learned more about it, and it basically became our best go-to camera, really. And my basic thoughts on the camera is that I absolutely love it. I absolutely love the Blackmagic camera, man. Honestly, we've shot some incredible productions on it. I remember the first film that we used a Blackmagic on was the Blackmagic. No, was Shelter, but that was the Blackmagic 6K Pro, which had like the ND filters in it. And then we firstly used this camera that you were watching on for fathers, and we used it on a business proposal. Then we used it on Filmmakers of the Future, where we actively used it, but we didn't use any Adobe products to edit it on. We used DaVinci, so like its own home, basically its own software. So we Filmmaker of the Future, Cheese on it, Kajul, Scarlet, and Retire, Wrong Formula, and all these films are available to watch on our YouTube channel. So please do go ahead and watch them. There's some incredible short films that we put a lot of heart and passion into. But yeah, so with the Blackmagic camera, it's honestly such a great interface, and honestly, it was an overestimation really. Like when I used it, I loved it. It was so easy to use. The interface was wicked. The buttons and everything like that were very straightforward to kind of do. And some of the tutorials on YouTube were honestly wicked, man. Like they're very straight to the point, and they helped you. If you're filming on the Blackmagic 6K, it entirely depends on what you edit on. Because I feel like when I was editing on Adobe Premiere and color grading it on there using the Lumetri wheels and whatnot, like I basically was really disappointed. I thought that the camera was absolutely terrible, or I was just terrible at using the camera, because like the color would just get lost, the color grades would just get lost and whatnot, and it just didn't look that good, really. Like I would shoot like slow motions and I'd shoot outdoors, and I would be hoping that it'd be wicked, and honestly, it wasn't. And I was like, What's this?" But then when I basically lost my Adobe subscription, which was rightfully so, I was like, if it was terrible for me, I was like, let me now turn to DaVinci, because I knew that it was its own, like, its own software, really. So it would kind of cooperate a lot better. And when I found out that, like, in the 6K box, in the camera box, I also had like a free like I could have the subscription to DaVinci Studio for free, like the whole software for free, and I don't need to pay a subscription for. And I began filming a project specifically just to learn more about my camera and also learn a new editing software on. And that was Filmmakers of the Future. The stills were wicked, man. Honestly, the quality of the camera was just so good. Like my expectations before of like the Blackmagic was just literally like here. I was thinking about selling my camera and getting a Sony Alpha or whatnot. And when I basically invested in when I basically began using DaVinci and learning more about it, like my love for the camera went from here all the way up here. Like I just absolutely fell in love with my camera, and I can't recommend you enough of how much of a blessing this camera is. It was it was a bit pricey for us back then, but as I was working and with the help of my father as well, we basically invested in the camera, and it literally did us so good. Like our production value went up a notch, and we're always learning more about our camera. And that's the one thing that you basically want from a camera, is to learn more about it as you use it. You don't want to hit a glass ceiling and then invest into something else. This is a pocket cinema camera. It's one of the most affordable cameras out in the whole line of cinema, line cameras. And Blackmagic always looks after its clients. I'm not being paid by them. I feel like I should, but it's just honestly a great investment for any young filmmaker out there that really wants to step up the level from DSLR cameras and just focus entirely on just making films. I think this is the right camera to use. And yeah, so that's one of my main filmmaking equipment. I also have the Sennheiser MKE 600 microphone. I've got a XLR cable. I also use the Roland R26, which is a pocket, like audio recorder, a field recorder. It fits right into a pouch, which is incredible because like I'm not really a sound operator, so for me it's just about like making sure that I get sound on my productions. And if a sound recordist doesn't have their own equipment, they could always use mine, and my one also does the trick really. A lot of my films have been, I've used this on, so it's not really a problem. And I also do a special shout out to my friend Joshua, who basically gave us his two newer lights to look after at the studio, but we also use them and he doesn't mind, so I really love you for that. Um, and we also have our own DIY dolly that we use. We've got a tripod which is by Newer. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of broken. I don't highly recommend you to kind of get that tripod, but we have used it for over 4 years, so I don't think it's a terrible investment. But I just feel like with age, it's kind of just become decrepit really. Recently, this is our key light over here. This is our small rig 120D. It's a daylight function. You can get daylight and you can get like wherever other light, like, wherever function. Um, Honestly, I love this. It's so powerful. We also have the V mount adapter for it, so it can be used outdoors. And we've used it a couple of times. It's honestly really good. I recommend you to get that. So that's our filmmaking equipment. Um, when you're firstly when you're firstly getting into filmmaking, I'd probably recommend you mostly to like just invest in sound equipment, just because that depends entirely if you want to be a cinematographer type of film. Like if you want to be a visual filmmaker, then please go ahead and buy your cameras or just save up for that. But if you just want to be an overall general filmmaker, I'd probably just want you to have another thought about investing into sound, most importantly, because I think like it's very hard to find people that are interested in sound. And if you own your own sound equipment, all you have to do is you just hand them the kit and you just teach them the functions of how to use it, and you just get great sound from that. Because it is very hard to find sound operators that would be able to offer their services for free. Normally, a lot of them are either busy or sometimes they, are balancing their work life, like their freelance life with, like work or whatnot, like, to fund their lifestyle. We have incredible friends, that, offer their services. But, sometimes it's never like that all the time, really. So, if you own your own sound equipment, you could always find somebody that just wants to help and also just train them, because it's always an opportunity for someone else to gain new skills. So I'd probably recommend you to get portable handheld type of audio devices, as I mentioned, which was the Roland R26. I've researched about it, but it seems like it's not actively sold anymore as it once was. We basically bought this on Amazon, and honestly, we've had it for over 5 years. So that is an absolute investment. Sound equipment never like loses its value. So if we sold it, like I think we bought it for £150, I think we could definitely sell that out again and probably get the same money or even slightly more. Maybe, I don't know if people are that stupid, but that's the sound equipment. Well, the film equipment that we currently use, it's good enough for us for the current position that we're at. Because so now we do actively outsource certain areas of our production to certain people. So we don't actively use our equipment all the time because we're always using more or sometimes slightly better stuff. But normally, uh, my whole ethos is to continue adding more mileage to the current equipment that we have. So I always prefer to stick with the Blackmagic just because I love it and I know how to use it and I understand its functions, and I could talk to the DOP or the camera person about like, oh, let's do this, let's try this, or if they don't know certain things, I could help them in that area. So yeah, that's basically my film equipment. I hope you guys enjoyed an insight into our production life and our production process. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any ideas or of what we should talk about next, please comment down below. And yeah, like if you enjoyed this type of series, please like. It keeps us going. And we look forward to making some more incredible short films for you to watch very soon. And yeah, just keep on staying blessed and making some incredible films. And if you do have any films, please do drop them down below. I'd love to give them a watch and like and share onto our platform. Honestly, that's something that we want to start doing nowadays, is just promoting new people as well. So please go ahead and just drop some stuff down below. I look forward to seeing you next time.